Hi everyone, it's PK here, and I'm joined here by Bikramjit, one of my clients in the Property Investment Accelerator. Hi Bikramjit. I just wanted to have him come on, and very grateful that he's on because he's just secured, actually, I thought it was one deal, it's actually two deals. We were just talking about it before. One in WA and one in SA. Both are positively geared properties. One has got development potential right away. Both were off market, I think, Bikramjit. And I don't know about the second one yet. I'll ask you more questions, but the first one was under market value. So we're not talking $600,000-$700,000 properties, sub 450,000 properties for one of them, sub 350,000. So if this is the kind of thing that you guys are looking for, then hopefully this video over the next 10, 15, 20 minutes or so will add some value. But I'm not going to go on and on and on. I'm just going to get stuck right into it. So thank you for making the time, Bikramjit. Maybe just start off, like, you've come across now as a pretty experienced property investor, but when you just describe to me your property journey before you started working with the Property Investment Accelerator with me.
Yeah. So thanks, PK, for having me. So actually, I was looking out for an investment opportunity and trying to invest in something. And what something was, like, obviously for any investment strategy, I started with share market, but again, share market has its own pros and cons, and always want to go do a bit of an investment in around property. But the thing which was actually creating, I will say, a bit of a fear in my mind was that, oh, it's too complicated, and there is too much of information in the mainstream media, and the mainstream media is actually helping you to confuse a lot. So and to be very frank, the course actually, why I accepted to be enrolled in the course was just to declutter this whole property journey and understand the the basics, I would say, what thing we should be looking for an investment perspective. So investment perspective, as you have mentioned in your many YouTube videos and in your course, that there are a lot of things needs to be looked. I think 25 or 30 odd parameters needs to be looked into it, and those are the things which hardly any people in the market talks about, and these are real factors that can make your investment profitable or highly rated, versus you can have some kind of investment. And to be very frank, I myself, where I'm right now living, is one of those house and land packages. Although I have built my own house after, but that time I was not aware of what's the pros, what the cons. Only thing was that yes, some of my friends are building, and okay, let me build it there. So that was the motivation behind that. But to be very frank, yes, this is one thing. But the other thing which we need to, if we are serious about investment, I think you need to, make your money work. And that's what I will say, that if you want make your money work, you need to understand that what are the things you need to look, so that it can give you a good investment on a return. And that's why I say that, like, let me just enroll into this course, see what it is. If it is not good, that's fine. I will think that that's a bad investment, another bad investment, or my share market price has gone down. So that was my all thought process, and that's why I had.
Well, that's a very liberal thought process. I think most people probably don't think that way. They're probably thinking, "This is my hard-earned money. This it's not a cheap course, as you know." So,
Yeah.
but I think that's a good mindset to have. It's an abundant mindset, but of course, you don't want to waste your money. And like you said, whether it's the Indian community or the Greek community or the Chinese community or whatever community, Australians, everyone sort of gravitates sometimes towards what their family or friends are saying. So I know, especially in the Indian community, in the Sydney area, everyone sort of gravitates towards Box Hill, Rouse Hill, Kellyville in Melbourne, you know, Tani, Truganina, that kind of area. Somehow always the western side. In Brisbane, it's kind of the North Lakes up north, or down south, the kind of Logan, Heathwood type areas. And really none of them make for good investments. So yeah, there are factors to learn, there's a science to learn. But I guess, you know, without me waffling on, just talk us through, to the extent that you're comfortable sharing numbers, the first deal that you did over in WA. So, you know, sometimes people still to this day don't believe the fact that you can get positive cash flow property that grows. Just talk about your deal that you got, if you don't mind.
No, it was a surprise for me too. Don't get me wrong, like, you know, I was also in the same boat, that positive cash flow, because in the mainstream media, people only talks about negative gearing and getting tax benefit out of, you know, your negative geared property. No one talks about positive, but it was always a question in my mind, that why people are doing this. Isn't it like, you know, you are not doing something wrong? And it was always a question in my mind. And when, obviously, I'm from Melbourne, Victoria, and when I looked into the numbers, I think that's how people live here, and it's a negative geared property is the norm, until you know, after doing the course and understanding, there are a lot of opportunities in terms of, like, you know, positive geared. It is just because where Melbourne and Sydney are located, it is obviously, it's pretty high in demand, and you cannot you know, compare the rental prices and the investment on return. So and that's basically where when I started this my first property, I basically followed whatever the guidance you have provided in the course, and basically I just you know, try to grab for an off-market opportunity, and that's what my goal is, that I always try to get an off-market deal, because it helps you to, you know, get your thoughts together in terms of, like, what price you need to put. It is not like, you know, you are standing in front of 10 people and putting up an auction price. So and you are emotionally indulge yourself into a price, you know, at that point of time. That's why I was always looking out for an off-market opportunity. And luckily, you know, within, I think, first week or second week itself, I got a call from one of the you know, real estate agent director, and they said that, okay, you are looking for this property, how can I help you? And I said that this is my intention, that I want an off-market opportunity, and if you have something, please let me know. I'm more than happy. And the lady was very kind. She actually on the next day itself, I think she called us again, and she said that okay, my real estate agent is going for an inspection. Do you mind doing a video call with them? And I said, why not? Let's do that. And that's all it started. It took me into a video call. We looked into the property, we looked into the size of the property, and obviously it was off market. And when we looked into the older photographs, we were not very sure, because the photographs were not that great, and it is obviously 6 to 8 years old. And I thought that maybe if it is in the same state, or obviously it will be worse by the time, maybe I'll think twice. But when actually the person actually showed me, the real estate agent showed me in the video conference, everything is you know, done right from kitchen to carpet to floorboards, everything was pretty much new. So they just want to sell it, and this current seller wants to move somewhere near to Perth. So that's absolutely, you know, I was okay. And the price which was given to me or quoted to me, or a guided price was something which he himself has purchased, which is around 2012 price. So which was a bit another question in my mind was there, why you are selling something. But yeah, it's an opportunity where you need to just grab it. And I said that, yep, let's do it. And with my wife and I discussed and finalized the deal in next week itself.
Yeah, yeah. So not only was it, I think you were saying it was 2012 price, but in that time, since 2012, the vendor had also, everything was new. They'd done a renovation, flooring, carpets, like a lot of new things. And you'd kind of put it at, you'd valued it at a little bit, maybe 20, 25, 30K more than that based on those renovations.
Yes.
But nonetheless, you got it at that same price. And I think the thing is that I don't want anyone watching this video and saying just because I bought a house in 2012 price that makes it a good deal. Like there's plenty of suburbs in Australia, Cairns, for instance, it's the same price as what it was 10 years ago. You need to be able to then say, is the data, those 20, 25, 30 factors, is it now at the bottom of the market? Is it now going to rise? And like, that's a beautiful thing about this suburb that you bought in. Since you bought it in February, it's already gone up, like I was pleased to hear, $20,000, $30,000.
Yeah.
So it's right at the bottom of its growth cycle, and you got it off market with an under market value. And without having to share the numbers, what's the kind of, I genuinely don't know, what's the gross yield on this one? So you mentioned positive cash flow. What have you calculated the gross yield? Is it
Yeah, it's around 5.25.
5.25. Okay. So that means that even after council rate, just for everyone listening, after council rates, property management, budgeting for a bit of maintenance, budgeting for vacancy, even though there's not really going to be much, insurance, all that, this is going to give Bikramjit some money, at the end of every year, which is what we want. So I think that's a good one. And I think the one thing that I just want to touch on as well on this property, so you're based in Melbourne, this was bought in WA. For all the other thousands of people watching this and thinking that, if I want to buy interstate or in a different city or town, then a bit like you are, it's confusing, mainstream media, all these podcasts make it sound very overwhelming. You need a buyer's agent and all this. Like, did you find it difficult to do by yourself?
No, I think is, in your mind, first thing is that, like, in your own mind you need to be clear that yes, you are really into the market. Many people would be, oh, let me just do a research. I was, yes, research, and then just straight away jump into a deal if a deal comes. And that was the reason that, like, I just turned around this deal so quickly, because I was just in, and I thought that, like, no time waste. Let's this is the suburb I'm looking. And coming back to the point that, like, you were saying that there are, in Cairns it is like 10 years, but it is not going to grow. But this is the suburb which is actually giving us the indication that this is a good growth corridor or a growth suburb. And in that I'm getting 2012 or 2010 price. So making these two things together makes, yes, this is a right opportunity and the right investment place. And that's why I grabbed it.
Yeah. And you didn't need to catch a flight over to Perth or anything like that. Everything was handled. And I think,
no.
I think the thing you mentioned about mindset, right? If you don't know, if you aren't 100% convinced on a suburb, if you're not educated to know what a good deal looks like, then your mind will play tricks. You were a week into your search, your mind could have said, hey, Bikramjit, we're just starting. Why should we, just jump on the first one? Let's at least look for 3-4 weeks and maybe something better comes up. But you knew exactly how to spot a good deal when you saw it and you jumped on the opportunity. So I think that's a key learning for anyone watching as well. If you know what you're doing, then just do it. Just do it. If you know what you're doing, you don't need to even come to me. Just do it. Don't second guess yourself. If you're educated, for 100% this will grow positive cash flow. Just do it. Don't wait around. Okay, cool. And so now if we travel down to South Australia, so now you've just gone unconditional on another property. This is a little bit more expensive, just north of 400K. And once again, this suburb, obviously I'm not going to name it, but it's a little bit more, it's not as at the bottom of the market as the one over in WA. But certainly we're not saying that it's grown more than 30% or anything like that. So it's still got, a long way to grow. But the thing that makes me the most excited, and I kind of wish it was mine, is that you can cut this property in two and build two townhouses that, obviously we need to look at the numbers in more detail, but that could sell for 500K each. After all costs, that's, maybe $200,000-300,000 of profit over the course of a year. Or you could split it in three, build three townhouses, maybe 250 square meters type of thing each, built up area maybe 100, 150. And those could sell at, close to $500,000 each. So you've got some options with this one. So once again, just talk me through. So now you know how to buy remotely, you know how to select the suburb. A lot of people wonder, how do we get an off-market deal in a booming suburb? So how did you get this one?
Yeah, so in this particular suburb in South Australia, I will say it was very difficult, and yeah, it is. Yeah, maybe the market is very hot compared to the previous one, and there's too many people who are actually looking out here, and even if you do the normal call to the sales agent, they will say that, oh, you are from other state, or from they are not very inclined, to be very frank, like to sell properties to I will say to any other interstate buyers.
They're very parochial Adelaide agents. If there's any of you watching, they're very loyal to their locals, which is a good thing.
And you said in one of your videos, and that video, I think I actually give an offer to a couple of properties, but they didn't bother even to tell that okay, the property is going for your bid was not successful. Normally that's the courtesy that people say, that if your bid is not successful, they will say yeah, your bid was not up to the mark and vendor has selected someone else. But yeah, it's what it is. But I luckily again land up, you need to know that whom you can trust and who are listening. I definitely, some of them were not that great, and some of them are too busy because of their like a bigger house, and to in my opinion, I think you need to until and unless you talk to the agent, until and unless you understand their mindset or understand how helpful they are, then only you will have an idea that yes, this is the person whom I should give him at least a nudge every week or fortnight to get a property out in an off-market deal. And that's what exactly I did. I called so many sales agents, and then I say that look, this is my requirement, this is what I'm looking out for, and I have given, as you mentioned in your course, I have given very specific requirements around the property, and these are the suburbs we're looking out. Some of them came back, but these in one way they said that yes, I'm giving you this opportunity, but this is again going to the market, irrespective whether you put an offer or not. But that kind of deal is again was not good enough for me, because even if I put up a price, again it is going out to the market, and it has happened that even if I put up a price, and they put that price as like a baseline for when they go for an open house. So it was going against me. So that's in that way I said that then again I stopped. No, if it is 100% off market deal, then only I will put on my best price. And there is no point, actually, to be very frank, it is very, in a very hot market, if you are really competing with others, you will always land up in higher pricing. Even the property which I have got, if it was in the market, it would have gone at least, I will say, 30, minimum 30 to 50K more. So that's how it is. So my suggestion would be to any of the viewers would be is that just try to grab an off-market opportunity. Then only you can run your numbers, you can get a better deal, and you can get a better investment.
Yeah. So I think one thing that I took away that I just want to highlight and echo is don't waste your time with agents that come across as lazy or come across as not very helpful. Like there's really no point in deploying the strategies that I teach on like a dead fish, so to speak. So be very strategic on where you prioritize your time, because it doesn't take time to it doesn't take that much time to do all this. It's not a part-time job. It's just carving out some hours every week and getting the results. So so you got this one off market as well. It's great to hear that on the open market, it would have gone for more. We can't say that it's under market value on that basis, but it is at a discount relative what its true value would have been. So that's good to hear. And like from these two experiences, so one strategy was very much set and forget over in WA, positive cash flow, high growth. This SA strategy is, for a while, let's just ride the growth. It's going to be there because the data is perfect for the suburb. In fact, probably there is no better suburb sub 400K or sub 450K anywhere in Australia right now. So that, I mean, I can hang my hat. It'll go up, 50, 100, 150K in the short term. That's there. Is that one positive cash flow for now as well?
Yes.
Okay, so it's positive cash flow, making you income. And then in 6 months, a year time, 2 years time, you can cut it in 2, cut it in 3, build if you have the requisite capital required, and then, take out $200,000-300,000 of profit. Or you may choose to keep one and just sell 1 or 2 of those developments. I mean, we don't want to sell our golden goose, so to speak. So, I mean, I'm very happy that you got these results. And like, I genuinely mean, like when I first started investing, I wasn't getting results like this. I was getting good results.
Because there was no PK, there. You are PK.
I mean, I learned trial and error to a large extent. The data, I mean, I always got the suburb perfect because that was based on my statistical techniques. But the how, the how to get it off market, how to negotiate, how to get it under market value, all of this I learned with time. So, I'm glad to see that all my clients are getting good results. So once again, great job, Vikramjit. I think just to wrap up, maybe if you want to, I think people that are watching this video will want to know, like, they've been struggling to find the right suburb, they want to buy interstate, they don't know how to go about it. Like, I don't want to put words in your mouth, I know you'll recommend the course, but even putting that aside, what's like the biggest tip that you can give them, like, apart from just do my course, like putting the sales aside, like what's the number one thing that you can say that will help them get closer to a positive geared property that's going to grow?
I think it all depends upon the mindset. I will say mindset, coming back to the mindset. First of all, anyone who is watching needs to, 100% sure that, yes, I want to do investment and I want to do investment in property, whether it is in your, in state, interstate, or it doesn't matter, but I want to do an investment in a right pocket, in a right suburb, in a right location, and in a right time, I will say. So all these factors are required. And the course actually, yes, I'm not, putting up, the course as a, yes, the course is definitely, it will unclutter lot of noise which is around this real estate world, but the fantastic thing which you will get out of this course is the team, and I don't know whether you have spoken in any of your previous videos, is that the team which you get out of this this course. You need this real estate, this investment journey in real estate is not you cannot do it on your own. You need a team, and you need a right set of mindset, or who understand your requirements, who can work with you and give you the right guidance. So the team is another aspect which is very important in this journey. If the team members are not playing to their capacity, you may land up in a very dud deal. It's evident in many of my friends who have gone through different strategies and try to do things. They need a good team. Even if you look into any buyer's agent, why they are successful is because they do have a team. And in this case, although PK is not a buyer's agent, but he has a team, and the team, it actually helps in terms of getting the right advice, right financial advice, right tax advice, all those accounting advice and convincing advice. All those in a nutshell helps a lot.
Yeah, no, well said. I often overlook that, I think. So yeah, like, you even if you do a fantastic course, you're still kind of a lone soldier. You need the team around you. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I think the analogy that I sometimes use is like, you're the captain of the cricket team, so to speak, but you can't open the bowling, the batting, be the wicket keeper, field it, slip or point, and be the coach at the same time. You need
Correct.
the education, the mentorship, the education, and then you need these people. I think everyone you mentioned, Bikramjit, and I'll just add property manager as well. Like for me, the property manager is just so important. Can't invest in high quality properties without them. So that's the addition. And you should never do a course that comes without a team. The team is essential. And just kind of cheekily, and my last thing, Bikramjit, for someone who's thinking, hey, this is like a super expensive course. This isn't like one of those cheap $2,000, $3,000 ones. I'm taking this money out of my deposit money that I've so hard worked so hard to get. I don't even think it's going to work. Maybe it's not going to work. Maybe it is. Like, what would your advice be to them?
Yeah, in fact, I was also, at a point of time when I talked to my wife, she said that, are you sure you want to do this? And I said that, look, from one perspective, even if it is in our, I'll just, go back to a story, a small story in our childhood. My parents always used to tell me that, if I want to like a toy, they will never buy, a toy. But if I say that, oh, can I get a book, even if it is like a fictional book or something else, they will happily give it, even if it is like 3 times costlier than that. And I actually asked my father about that, why you are okay buying a book which is 3 times that price of that small thing, which a small toy, which I asked. And he said that the education will always give you the clarity. You can earn hundreds of those toys you can get, but if you are educated properly, and you can take your right decisions. And this is where it comes back here in this course, is that you can take right decisions based on the information available in the course, and that enables you to take the right decision. There is a lot of noise in the property world, and this will help you to unclutter those noise and understand what is important and what is a real value. So that's what I will say, that education is always important, and with that philosophy in like ingrained in myself, I said, okay, education, I'm in. and that's fine, and that was one of the motive. And yes, my wife said that, do you really want? Yes, it is taking out money out from our deposit, but I said that yes, if I do the right investment, this deposit will come out within a year. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think it's come out within a few weeks, but yeah, like knowledge is empowering, and like the way that I live my life is you teach a man or a woman how to fish. That's so much more valuable than just giving them a fish. So
Exactly.
if you have a few hours of spare, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of spare a week, you can buy a property within a month or two. You can do it yourself, and then you'll be self-reliant forevermore. And I think that's the beauty of it. But I just want to respect your time, Bikramjit. It won't go on any longer, but thank you so much for coming on. Congratulations on 2 deals. I thought we were going to talk about 1, but we talked about 2, so that was awesome. And looking forward to your next one. And for anyone who's watching, like, you know, everyone does testimonial videos. I hope that other than the marketing angle, this actually provided some value. I thought Bikramjit did a fantastic job of just saying the truth as it is in terms of how to get off market deals and things like that. Hopefully these are really bringing you guys some value. If they are, please, please, please like or love below. Please leave a comment, questions. I'm here to help you. You know, free advice, just ask below on YouTube, hit subscribe, and then this can go and reach more and more and more people. I'm the only one, without putting a braggadocious hat on, I'm the only one doing this in Australia, with mentorship, with education, one-on-one. If you need help, I'll leave a link below. Thanks so much. My name's PK, and that is Bikramjit. See you later, guys.